Hey guys, welcome back to more episodes of For All Mankind. We're up to episode 7 already. That last one with Von Braun and Margot really delve into the inner workings of this world, with it being different to ours, but so very similar, as to how the game of politics is played, and to ensure her survival and being able to continue forward working for NASA. She was looked over completely for flight director, and he's pointed out some home truths about her home life, her own father, but at the same time giving her the ammunition with the report, which is why I wanted to see her, as to who and what you do with it and how you ensure that merit alone doesn't cut it, and you've got to play the game the way that the world works. Thankfully, she's done it. But it was very well put together. It was a bit of a different episode. We kind of pulled away a little from the main topic as to what's going on, but I'm sure we're going to get back to it. The weird thing that we did get is, what were those red lights that Gordo saw? Is that, well, it's the Russians, has to be. I don't think it's silence. Did he run out that far that he come within a spitting distance of the Russian base? Or are they encroaching further? Or is that spy equipment? Is that a weapons platform? I don't know. Let's go find out. It's episode 7. That's a big ass crayer.
But in the process of destacking the rocket, there was a mishap in the vertical assembly building, and some damage was done to the LOX vent lines and the liquid hydrogen fuel tank.
That stage will have to be completely rebuilt before it can fly. That will take time.
You gotta be kidding.
I'm afraid that the launch of Apollo 24 will need to be delayed.
Another 2 weeks.
Another 2 weeks.
Another 2 weeks. And another 2 weeks.
We got plenty of work to keep us busy.
In fact, we're coming up on the scheduled evolution right now.
I think they're putting a brave face on this. No one's ever been trained to be in this situation for this length of time.
True American heroes doing God's work.
The ants are building their same tunnels, same as they were yesterday.
Well, that was during the period when I was afraid of upholstery.
God, I wish they had more.
He ever on Lost in Space?
Star Trek.
Then you sure you had a good connection on the S-band leads when you hooked up the line?
Yep. 2 green lights. Did they ever make y'all see a shrink when you were testing for the program?
Not a shrink. Saw about 5 in those days. You ladies got off easy.
You ever dreamt of having sex with your mother?
Yeah, the docs love asking the have you had sex with a parent dream question.
Right, but...
Got a terrible anxiety attack.
Shit.
Don't mess up my deck.
Oh no, there's going to be ants everywhere. They even did it. Well, no, I thought for a minute they did it in slow motion, but of course they didn't, did they?
Hi, Bob.
Like a gravity.
How'd your interview go with Levi Strauss?
I didn't get it.
My husband is not doing well. Look at him.
I don't need someone digging around my head, trying to make it seem like I'm crazy.
That's not what it's about, honey. He's just trying to help.
I don't need help.
He's not coping back here on his own, is it?
We're doing fine on my salary, Clay.
Man's not supposed to live off his wife. I led a platoon in Vietnam. You know, that man in that interview,
I know you will.
couldn't even answer the questions.
Yes.
This dark hole that I could feel pulling me in,
Yep. Signs.
pulling me down. You know, I could
This is awful.
feel it pulling me down. I don't want to go.
He needs help, and he's not going to get it.
I know someone's waiting down there for me, and it's
Clayton.
going to get me the second I look away. It's going to get me.
It's
It's
just
okay,
going
honey.
off on one. It's going off on one, you can say.
It is okay. We still have more time, baby.
I'll talk to you next week. Okay, I love you.
Sit down, Clay.
Oh, and she's completely helpless up here, and she can see her husband falling apart.
Odd thing to see in an astronaut.
This guy's
It
not
was
giving
a
up, is
childhood fear. I got over it.
he? Got a culprit, and you know exactly what happened. This was meant to be a temporary thing for them to investigate because they thought maybe that the Russians had some part in it. I know they're updating their security procedures and making sure that nobody has anything in their history or their life or their profile or their psyche or any of it that could be prone to being converted or turned. But I just feel like this is just, if you continue to dig and look for something on every single person, you're going to find something. Not all of us have skeletons in our closet, fears, secrets, whatever. I just feel like this is counterproductive.
They said my entire medical file was highly confidential and not to worry about anyone, just
doing what you're doing.
You're aware that I have the power to yank your security clearance and bounce you out of the program.
Larry is a red-blooded American man with completely normal desires. And I won't sit here while you cast aspersions on his character.
Talk about your boyfriend, Miss Waverly. We're here to talk about you.
You can't understand why a woman wants to be an astronaut?
I can't understand why Ellen Waverly, heiress, aeronautical engineer, pilot, and now astronaut, is with Larry Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry, can we not bring the fact in, any facts into real life scenario here that regardless of her background or her family or her wealth or her choice to not take over or be in the family business and to do what she's doing, that if she chooses to be with whoever she chooses to be with, man or woman, but I know in this case it has to be a man, who's to say that she can't just force for whoever who doesn't fit in your little neat box as being somebody that would be acceptable for someone of her level and standard?
I doubt it.
Why? Have you slept with him?
No. Have you?
I don't think
Funny.
that is any of your business.
I just don't know why you're doing this.
I'm not doing anything. Of a perfectly good man.
You're helping him hide a secret at great personal risk to yourself, your reputation, and your career.
Well, that's her business if she is.
Can't
He's
figure
waiting
it.
for you to slip. He's waiting for you to slip. He's pushing.
How much longer is this crap gonna go
I'll give him that. He's good.
Trust the phone.
Don't they need a warrant to tap our phones?
Officially.
J. Edgar Hoover may be dead, but
This follows last week's publication of photographs, which appear
Oh,
to
but
show
that's
the
okay.
President and Miss Kopechne in Palm Beach, Florida last winter.
If she was out there sleeping with half the fucking guys in the bar, they wouldn't have a problem with that. Same goes for him. If he was a womanizer, just like Kennedy, they wouldn't have a problem with that. They've only got a problem with it because you're the same sex. But they've no proof. They've not even got hearsay. They've got that investigator watching the two of you, waiting for you to slip. What are we doing here exactly?
Is that the Russian carrier wave?
Oh, it's not what they're looking for.
Not ours, so it's gotta be theirs.
Well, it's got to be up there if you've
Could be
been going on the
Gordo's red
signal.
blinky people. The Russian telemetry is on a different frequency. But it has to be voice and it's encrypted.
Maybe weapons.
You really believe that?
Could be weapons.
Why would you want weapons on the moon? Who are you going to be shooting at?
I agree, but
Me?
your
Gordo.
government's looking at doing it too.
Well, everybody wants to shoot at Gordo.
I heard that.
You want to start spying on the Soviets.
They're
That's not
spying
right.
on us, I guarantee it. Pick up your feet.
I mean, he could be right.
Come up. Tomorrow I want to take the rover and head along Broadway.
You're meant to be astronauts,
Bring
not
on
spies.
Mayberry, and then up the western slope of Mount Pilot. See if there's any sign the Russians have been on our side of the crater. Prep the rover for an extended run.
Gordo,
He's
let
doing
it go, man.
Just let him run around in here.
What if they get in the circuitry and short something out? Those ants are NASA property and we're responsible for them.
Easy
It's an ant.
No one's making fun of your ants, okay?
Fine.
Zoning in and focusing on one thing that doesn't even matter that much. I know we're seeing this from an. It's not like the Americans, that, you know, the show. I've replaced this show from watching the Americans, and I wanted something else, Cold War themed. But unlike that show, we are only getting the American side of things here. I know, you know, me saying no one owns the moon. It's not your side of the crater. It's not their side of the crater. But it's a race to space. It's I hate using what they've used, but trying to progress mankind, this is why it's never worked and will never work, while we still divvy up our country and go, that's my country, that's your country, our ways are different to your ways. And the whole, we don't need to go through it, right? You know, we could go on for that for hours. So until we come together as a singular human civilization, I don't feel like the exploration of space is the right thing to do, even just with the moon, because we're already looking at trying to start divvying it up here and putting weapons platforms up here and deciding who gets what.
Yes, Mrs. Stevens, the teachers all agree that your son is the follower in this situation, and that if it were not for the influence of Shane, he would probably not be participating in activities.
My son is the follower. No. And so Shane is...
Good luck with that.
I'm saying there's a dynamic at play here.
Any more of this? Let's go. This is outrageous. I will be contacting Superintendent Jones about this.
Houston, we're back at the ranch now, so we'll be going hot box and talk to you after.
This has been shot so well.
What's for dinner tonight?
I think Gordo's making beef stroganoff.
So you satisfied? We ran off 30 kilometers on the rover and didn't see a single sign of the Russians.
I'm satisfied in terms of what we saw, but well, we didn't even come close to covering our part of the crater today. So tomorrow we'll have to recon another sector.
Like somehow we own it.
That's kind of how it works, you know?
See?
Plants the flag first, owns it.
Owns it.
Ask the pilgrims.
He's going to run one of his moonwalks. Literally, moonwalk. The other side of the crater was 8 kilometers away, and that's where the Russian base was. Yet they say they've just been out 30 kilometers, so I don't know. Are they doing the circumference of the crater or what?
No, it's been there before.
I hope not. I hope he's not losing it. And?
Hi, Bob. Don't fucking hi, Bob, me. What are you doing?
Just a little apartment hunting.
He's looking rough, isn't he?
We're out on the rover and you go AWOL. You don't leave the base without authorization.
Not all of it at once.
Ground you the rest of your natural life.
First, they gotta get me off this rock. I ain't doing such a good job of that.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. He wants off here.
You and Danny are cruising around looking for commie spies that don't exist. And I'm pretty sure you didn't say squat about that to Houston.
No.
I mean, the shower only works half the time. The food is lousy. The toilet's backed up so much you barely even notice the smell anymore.
The Soviets are out there.
Soviets?
And they're a threat to this base. You saw them yourself.
Don't go yelling at me.
What are you trying to say?
Gordo.
You think I'm making this up, don't you? See, that's what you do. You cut me down to make me look like I don't belong.
Stand down.
What you want to do? You want to hit me at it? So what you want to do? Come on, give it your best shot. You think you're man up?
Step back. Calm down.
What would it be like to have a fight in low G?
You're confined to this base.
You know, the shrink. Technical term. Because when you get it, this is how you behave. You don't care. and that demonic laugh is not helping.
Agent Donahue is of the opinion that Larry Wilson may have certain tendencies.
Opinion.
Which could pose a security risk.
Opinion.
And now he has voiced a theory that perhaps you may have certain tendencies as well.
They go for each other.
This is not a good time for the administration to be forced to deal with another scandal. All the more reason why a NASA astronaut's private what-have-yous should not be made public at this time.
I'm not gay. But I can't control Gavin Donahue or the Justice Department.
And do
a step which would make all of these accusations against the both of you seem ridiculous.
Get married. That's what he's suggesting. Yep, he's suggesting you get married so it all goes away.
Get the relief crew up there.
Flashlight.
It's the damn ants, wasn't it?
It wasn't the ants.
2 more weeks. Got it.
Borrico.
But the good news is the unmanned Titan launched perfectly this morning and should be there in 5 days. And we have a little surprise for you this time.
Well, surprises.
Needle nose pliers.
What's the surprise? Okay. Another Bob Newhart tape.
I don't suppose you're sending us a new batch of videotapes.
Of what? Oh, no. NASA's still having trouble with the Hollywood studios. They don't want people thinking they can just record their shows at home. It'd eat into their advertising revenue if they skip the commercials.
Oh, unfortunately, that Pandora's box will get opened and will never go back. They don't want people being able to record their shows at home and skip the adverts. Guess where that goes?
But we did manage to include a whole new plumbing assembly for the shower.
Boring.
I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll give you further updates on 24 as they become available. Here's to now.
You're going to keep the pretense anyway, because what can they even do about it? Nothing.
I'd like to introduce my second surprise.
There it is.
My wife, Emily.
What's she
Our group, and she's also afraid of flying.
And I'm just squatting him.
Why do you say that, Mr. Collins?
No.
Why did I just say would happen? It'll go right round the head. When you repair it... I can't believe that just happened. When you repair a tape, anyone over the age of 40 will know what I'm talking about, or at least you should. When you repair a tape and it's got the creases in it that you've unwound and you put back, once that goes around the head, it's dead. It does what it just does and what it's just done here, and eventually just chews the whole fucking thing and it's gone. For a moment, I thought I was preempting something that wasn't going to happen, and it has happened.
That was the best I could do.
Yeah. Oh well, no more Bob Newhart. Now he's really going to lose it. They're not coping. Now we're on the 27th of November.
Embarrassment to your entire family. You realize that? You're supposed to be the man of the house while I'm away. You're supposed to help. Instead, you're running around acting like some kind of little punk.
Not the time to be disobeying your father.
Right before Thanksgiving. Very disappointed in you, Shane.
You always know you're in shit when a parent used to say the D word.
11 years old, Shane.
When are you going to stop acting like a little baby and start acting like a man?
I don't have time for your little baby shenanigans.
Yeah, he
I'll
doesn't
handle it
like
from
this.
here, and okay. Shane, say goodbye to your father.
But
I don't know for sure, but part of the problem could be that very thing. His father's not there. Look at that! That's awesome. Wow.
I think the flight surgeons are beginning to get a little worried about his head cold.
He's on the mend. Needs a break.
You all need a
I'm
break.
getting a bad vibe from him lately, like something just isn't computing in his head
Yeah,
anymore.
like a Jack Nicholson vibe.
Gordo's tough. We'll be fine.
You got shot down?
Yep.
Not this.
Supporting a strike mission just north of 38 parallel. Was another pilot crash landed, and I was flying cover above him. I got clipped by anti-aircraft fire. Look, the point of the story was that when I got back to Seoul, I was tightly wound.
Mm-hmm.
I even got short-tempered with a couple of my superiors. They put me in a hotel room, gave me a bottle of scotch, and said, "Don't come back until your head's straight."
That's...
Locked myself in that room. Resurfaced a few days later. Right as rain.
the old school way of going, lock yourself in there with a bottle of whiskey and don't come out until you're feeling yourself again. That would work for some people. I'm not sure it worked for you. I'm not sure it worked for Gordy.
Needed some time. And I don't know anymore. Oh, shit.
What? Tracks and footsteps. Oh, you bastards. They have been here. They have been here.
I agree with you, sir, but I think the Soviets knew full well we'd find their tracks and report back to NASA.
Some answers regarding this incident.
Copy that, sir. And how do you want us to proceed?
Continue your normal operations, Commander, through diplomatic channels from now on.
Aye, aye, sir.
Yep, start surveilling them. That was smart. That was, at least that was quick thinking that you're being listened to.
He's hoping this whole thing just goes away. Teddy's little Palm Beach fling has got them all squeamish about anything to do with sex right now.
You're not seriously considering this?
They're gonna have to. They want to keep their jobs.
I don't know. I think we have to put all the options on the table.
Yeah, well, would it make any difference?
Redefine us in the eyes of the world. Much harder for anyone to question us if we've taken that step.
You do this. You actually go through with this thing that I can't even say out loud. You do this, then you and I, we're done. I love you.
She's out
There,
of order.
now it's been said.
Sorry.
And I said it because it
Wait,
has
I
to
said
be
it's
said.
out
And
of
I know you
order.
never would. This is too big. What you guys are talking about doing, it is important. So you do this. We're done.
Then you're over. It doesn't matter what it is in a relationship. If you ask somebody to choose something significant like that, it's a demand. What do you think she's going to do? Start sleeping with him? I don't hold back any punches now. I just say how I interpret it, how I see it, and what my opinion is. You don't have to agree with it. Perceive things. He's gone because you opened the curtain. They are watching you closely. You've got a serious problem on your hands here.
I didn't think anyone would be interested in my story. I just thought I'd sit and listen tonight.
He's gone. He's gone.
I feel you have a lot of hostility toward me.
Smaller.
This is a real problem for Ed for one reason more than anything. I know it's his colleague, it's his friend, and under normal circumstances, I would expect him when they do eventually go back to go, oh, everything was fine, and cover for him. However, it's your responsibility here to ensure that you don't do that, whether it's your friend or not. You need to report this. I'm not saying report it here and now where you are, because there's nothing that can be done about it. But you can't in good conscience get back to Earth whenever that bit may be, whether it is another 2 weeks from now or 4 weeks or 6 weeks until the relief crew arrive. You need to inform them that although he is an astronaut and he's fully qualified and he's also proven he's got under pressure, this type of pressure of being in this situation is not good for him. He can't handle it. You can't in good conscience ever allow him to come up here to the moon again to do this. I'm afraid this guy needs to be grounded. He's supposed to. What are we going to do?
I think maybe you need to call Houston.
I don't believe
Maybe.
No.
He doesn't want to. Doesn't want to rat him out.
Never too long. He needs to get outside and clear his head.
Okay. I don't know what Ed can do here other than what she said.
Come on, bud.
And call Houston and go, we have a problem. Through no one's fault and through consequences and accidents, they've got left up here far longer than anyone was expected, that anyone is possibly trained for.
It's a beautiful area. Explain to me what the hell's going on back there.
You must know.
I don't know.
You must know that something's not right.
I couldn't do it anymore. Same walls, same lights, same food. Fucking hell, I hate that food. I didn't sign up for this, Ed.
No, none of you did.
I'm a naval aviator. Flying off carriers. Man, I love a catch out of a carrier at night. We used to be on the bleeding edge of things, you know. Go the highest.
You can't handle it one day in here.
No man's gone here. No man. Just me.
Enjoy the view, Gordo. You're never going to say again.
That's not the job anymore. Not really.
Job's
That's just
changed.
homesteading. Build a cabin. The frontier starts right here. The whole universe just waiting to be explored. And what are we doing? Playing house. It's not what I signed up for. In my spacesuit suit. I'm feeling. He's crawling down back of my neck.
No, they're not, dude. Oh, no, dude. He's going to take his fucking helmet off. Yeah, he's utterly gone. He's unstable. Oh, man.
They ain't there. Gordo, everything's gonna be alright.
They're not there, you're imagining it.
Calm down.
Ed, you need to call NASA. They need to get someone up here.
We got a medical situation. We gotta power up the lifeboat. Take Gordo home.
I'll be okay.
No, you won't. We gotta face it. You gotta go home, Gordo.
If we abandon this base, the Russians are going to be all over it before we even break orbit.
I'm not gonna abandon the base.
No, he's going to stay.
What do you mean?
He's going to stay. You two
I'm
are going
sending
to
you
go.
and Gordo home without me.
Yeah.
I'm named Danny, commander of the return mission.
You'll fly second seat, Gordo. You follow her orders.
Houston will never go for it. They'll never leave an astronaut marooned on the moon.
I'll decide what happens to it. I'm not going to abandon this base or our mining operations to the Russians. Well, I'm going to send them to the shrinks.
Yeah. His career's over.
Career's over.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you that.
Absolutely.
Yank his pilot ticket. Military and civilian.
They have to. An astronaut's job that he signed up for wasn't this sitting in a tin can for weeks and months on end with two of the crew members with not being able to swing a cat round in here. A shame.
What's going on?
Need a little help here.
What happened?
Oh.
What the hell?
What happened?
I'm trying to change the battery and it fell on my arm.
Oh, that's so broken.
Please hold on.
Had to change the battery in the middle of the night? By yourself?
Wait a minute. You decide to change the battery in the middle of the night when the other two were asleep. She's covering for him. He said he's going to call them in the morning because it was the middle of the night in Houston and tell them that they have a medical emergency. Gordo. She has purposely injured herself or allowed herself to be injured so that that is the actual medical emergency, so the two of them get taken home and no questions are asked other than if she's okay because of her arm. No questions for Gordo. Is that what she's doing here? Literally masking and covering his psychological shortcomings here so that he doesn't lose everything.
You just suddenly had to change the battery.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait till morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
And let them know that you have an astronaut who has had an accident and
needs to go home.
You
didn't have to do this.
No, you didn't. Why have you done this?
Clayton's lost, Ed. But he's not coming back.
No.
I know that. If they ground Gordo, he's not coming back either.
Right. She's seen it with her husband. She doesn't want it to happen to Gordo too. Yeah, she knows her husband's gone.
There you go.
Not coming back.
There you go.
We
We
know.
all support your decision to remain at Jamestown.
Of course you will.
Until properly relieved, which should be in 2 weeks' time. The president has also decided to promote you to the rank of captain in the United States Navy. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure Karen will appreciate the extra pay.
I bet she will.
Powered up and ready to burn home.
I can't believe she's done that, but I now understand with this mentioning her husband.
I guess this is it, huh?
It won't be long.
We'll talk about it in a minute because it's nearly
We'll get
finished.
some aspect there. Get those clowns on 24 moving. We'll probably be here in
2 weeks. He doesn't lose his wings. If things move on further down the line to ever allow them to put him in this situation again, you'd have to say something further down the line if that ever comes up.
Everything's on track here, Houston.
Roger that, Excalibur.
Yeah, Gordo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he knows. He owes you something he can never repay that she could do to intervene, because unfortunately she can't do that for her husband, which is really sad. 10 days, okay.
I cannot believe that you did this.
Oh, what's he done
After
now?
everything that's going on.
I'm sorry, okay?
Don't take that tone with me.
Is that it again?
It's still stealing.
Oh, this kid's a problem.
You're grounded until after Christmas.
I was actually waiting for her to slap him one.
But I have a basketball game.
Not anymore.
No, anymore you don't. I'm not saying I condone corporal punishment, but a slap once in a while at that age because you're out of line never did the rest of us any harm, did it? Because your dad's not here. But your dad's never here. Where's that the problem? You steal at this age and you get a juvenile record for it, your life's over before you start. Married. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. She gave you an ultimatum. It's a sham marriage anyway, who cares? For what? Really, for what? Although the police won't be here for that. What the fuck's he done?
Hi, can I help you?
Ma'am, is this your house?
Yes, I'm Karen Baldwin. What's going on?
Is your son Shane Baldwin?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm afraid there's been an accident.
Shit, is he dead? What? Oh, come on. Fuckers. Really, you're going to end it there? You're just going to drop that bombshell on us and then just end the episode? God damn it. That hour and 10 minutes flew by. Literally flew by. Because we were in that little compartment with them, experiencing, going through what Gordo was going through, and at the same time, what Danny and Ed were having to try to tone down and hope will fix itself. And all it did was what you'd expect it to do, is to just get progressively worse. And for her to do what she's done, to create the medical emergency with her arm and conceal what has actually taken place up here to keep Gordy from losing everything, even though it looks like he's at home and he's still not coping, but it doesn't mean he's been stripped of everything. I gave a lot of commentary and I paused that episode an awful lot, guys. I do apologise, which is why it's nearly an hour and 10 minutes, and I think the episode was just over an hour, so there was a lot of pausing and talking going on in that, so I'm going to keep this short. Ed's son, I don't know if he's been in an accident that's a serious accident or he's dead. I don't know, but if it is indeed that, now the mother's going to feel even worse and terrible. That is the absolute last thing that Ed should need to be dealing with. If it's an accident, there's nothing anyone can do. It's not like he went out purposely. Did it? I don't know. I mean, he could have been run over. It could have been anything. It's probably like a traffic accident or something. He's probably got dressed, because we saw him getting his game gear football kit thing. He's probably got on his bike, set off angrily, and probably some sort of traffic accident. I don't know. But Ed is now up there on his own. There is absolutely no way, if this is a death, that you can tell him about that while he's up there. You can't drop that on him with where he is. You just can't. Wow, what an episode, man. They're dealing with the space stuff, but they're dealing with the crisis levels that come with doing this job. And they've dealt with something there that none of them would have ever been trained for, as I mentioned in commentary. Not this extended time in space, cooped up together. You put 3 people in there that you think are qualified to be able to handle it. One of them wasn't. Right, I'll keep it short because there was a lot of talking in it. I hope you're enjoying this show, because I'm loving it so far. It's not totally what I expected, but it's also pleasantly not what I expected. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please let me know in the comments. I will be back for episode 8 next week. Till then, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I will see you for the next one.